India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi welcomed his Vietnamese counterpart, Pham Minh Chinh, at the forecourts of Rashtrapati Bhavan on Thursday. On the second day of his three-day visit, Prime Minister Chinh received a ceremonial welcome. The leader later visited Rajghat and paid floral tributes to Father of the Nation, Mahatma Gandhi. This is the first visit by a Vietnamese premier to India in a decade, and also this is the first prime ministerial visit since the two sides upgraded their ties to comprehensive strategic partnership in 2016. The visiting leader has emphasized on the long-standing friendship between Vietnam and India dating back to 2000 years. On Wednesday, addressing India-Vietnam Joint Forum, he called for stronger economic cooperation between Vietnam and India, setting an ambitious target of $20 billion in bilateral trade. Earlier on Wednesday, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar met Vietnamese Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh and appreciated his guidance on India-Vietnam bilateral ties. All right, Jessica Taneja, our correspondent, joins us from New Delhi. Jessica, good morning. Now, India considers Vietnam as a key pillar of its Act East policy and also an important partner in its Indo-Pacific vision. Let us get more from what all is lined up today because the Vietnamese leader will be holding bilateral talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
That's correct. And, restricted level talks will soon begin here in New Delhi between the two leaders. And if you've seen the engagement in the recent past as well, as you pointed out, Vietnam is an important partner and an important nation when it comes to India's Act East policy. Remember the kind of trust the Prime Minister had given to the earlier called Look East policy, and Vietnam becoming one of the major partners to do bilateral trade with. And also the leaders, the business leaders, the community met with the Vietnamese Prime Minister yesterday, and there were various MOUs signed to that effect as well to strengthen and enhance this bilateral relationship, perhaps take it to 20 billion in the next few years, and making sure that the resilient supply chain, of course, that particular friend-shoring idea is also not lost on both the nations.
All right, Jessica, also, we've told our viewers that this is the first visit by a Vietnamese leader in a decade. And also, when we talk of the issues and the things which will be taken up on the agenda, how has the relationship evolved over the years? And also, what is the scope of the relationship to be strengthened? What are the specific areas that will be the key focus areas today?
Well, that's correct. Once the Vietnamese Prime Minister arrives here at Hyderabad House, we're expecting a list of announcements later in the day, but expect the announcement to be on the lines of artificial intelligence technology and, of course, looking at how other ways of strengthening relationship also with defense. Specific focus also on semiconductors, let's not forget, because that is one space where the two have been waiting to collaborate, and further cooperation can lead to more enhanced and more reliable supply chains, especially when it comes to the shortage of semiconductors that we've seen in the recent past. Also, apart from this, we can also expect announcements to the tune of enhancing the trade in pharmaceuticals. Even yesterday at the business leaders meeting, there was a lot of emphasis made on how India is at this moment Vietnam's very crucial partner when it comes to pharmaceutical imports. So, of course, looking at how all of this can be factored in and what more than the two countries would do, perhaps also looking at starting a direct flight between Da Nang and Ahmedabad to increase connectivity and to enhance connectivity. That is also one positive step. But expect a lot more announcements coming in later in the day when it comes to how the two countries navigate their trade relationship and which all areas, apart from the ones that I did mention, will they choose to focus on today.
All right, Jessica.